Our first question is submitted by Rafael Oliva, who writes in and says, how's it going? Great show, by the way. It never fails to put me and my friends into a debate.
Oh, good.
So my question to you guys is, why hasn't any studio tried to reboot Street Fighter? Not the crappy one they made with Bison and Chun, but a real, well-written version of Street Fighter. In my opinion, it seems as if this movie kind of genre is dead, but I've always wanted to see it happen. And who knows, kind of like a Marvel versus DC right now, but maybe we could have a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. I think there's so much that you can do with this if you have the right approach. And we do have some actual good action stars going around right now. So come on, just give me Scott Adkins and Jason Momoa. But what do you guys think?
Well, okay. So if you're talking about not a lot of films do this kind of genre, if the genre you're talking about is crappy films, then well, first of all, there are still a lot of films in that genre. I mean, the main reason I could totally see, look, if there had never been a Street Fighter movie before, and we were sitting here today and somebody say, what would you think about a Street Fighter movie? I'd say, well, it'll probably suck because it's a video game movie. But that aside, it's worth trying because it's been a long-standing, very popular franchise. Got some very colorful characters in there. Something you can build around, you know, something you can create in there. Put it in the hands of a gifted writer. Maybe you can make something out of it, blah, 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 blah. But that being said, one of the things I've always said here is, if you're going to say, if you get a great script and you do it right, well, you can say that about anything. Remember, I talked about, I'm going to make it a new Sparkles the Toilet Gnome. You can make a movie about Sparkles the Toilet Gnome. If it's well written and done right, then it'll be great. But anything that is well written and done right, the question is, does your source material position itself to have a higher probability of being done right? And I'd say something like a Street Fighter, the answer to that is no. And on top of that, you have such a history of failure with it. I mean, that Chun-Li movie was just brutally bad. And I love these types of trashy movies, but it was so awful.
I didn't see it. I heard it was terrible. I have it on my list of like must-watch movies because it's so bad. And I used to have a huge crush on Kristen Crook from the Smallville days, you know, and that still didn't lend me to watch the movie. But then you forget, there was a Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie as well.
Oh, I don't forget.
In the 90s. Well, this guy, Raphael forgets because he only mentions the Chun-Li one.
Right.
So what the problem is, because I disagree with John, I think there's potential for a good movie. However, you've kind of ruined the brand by having these two horrible movies come out. And now the only thing people can think of is these two bad movies. So I don't think anyone's going to take a risk. I mean, I think they're doing maybe like a web series with it, kind of like how they're doing with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And then maybe from there, but I just don't see anyone, studio, willing to take a risk.
They've created a huge uphill battle for themselves. I mean, first of all, it's hard enough to put in $100 million to make a movie and launch. That's hard enough as it is. Now put on top of the fact that the name is mud. In the movie cinematic world, the name Street Fighter is mud because now it's that brand, like Dennis is pointing out, is now completely associated with garbage. So look, you do a Street Fighter movie and you put Scott Adkins and you put Jason Momoa in it. I'll be there, me, Dennis, and 250 empty seats. but I'll be there. But you're right. It's just the brand is now just like, would you be interested at this point, understanding the history? Would you be interested right off the top of your head? Would you be interested in a Street Fighter movie, Aaron?
No, but I have really strong opinions about this because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. And if you're going to put that talent in a movie, put them in a Mortal Kombat movie. That movie needs to be redone and redone well. And I think it will be. We're going to get one pretty soon. But Street Fighter, no, I don't. And I don't want to have competing universes. It's a video game franchise. People, come on.
Yeah.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.